Everyone says London is too expensive, and for most tourists, they are right, because they are spending money on the wrong things. London has 6 world-class museums that are completely free. It has a viewpoint better than the London Eye that costs nothing. It has a food market that has been running since the year 1014, where you can eat like a local for under £10. In this video, you are going to find out exactly how to do London properly, what to skip, what to book, where to eat, and how to move around the entire city for a flat daily cap that is cheaper than a single tourist bus ticket. Stay until the end. The free viewpoint reveal alone is worth it. Here is the first thing that changes everything. Do not buy a paper tube ticket, ever. Tap in and out with your contactless bank card, and London's transport system automatically caps what you pay each day. You will never be overcharged, regardless of how many journeys you take. Every bus, every tube, every overground, same card. That one move saves most visitors between 20 and 40% on transport alone. If that kind of specific tip is useful to you, subscribe now. We publish content like this every week. When you land at Heathrow, you are going to see people everywhere selling you Heathrow Express tickets for £25. Do not buy them. Take the Elizabeth line instead. It opened in 2022, runs directly from Heathrow to central London in around 30 to 45 minutes, and costs £13.30 with your contactless card. It is faster than the Tube's Piccadilly line, and a fraction of the price of the Express. The Elizabeth line is one of the most significant transport upgrades London has had in decades, and most first-time visitors still do not know it exists. London's museums are the single greatest argument for visiting this city. The British Museum is free. It holds 8 million artifacts, the Rosetta Stone, the Elgin marbles, an Easter Island statue, all under one roof, all at no cost. The Natural History Museum is free. The Victoria and Albert Museum is free. The National Gallery, Tate Modern, the Science Museum, all free. These are not small regional collections. The British Museum alone pulled in 6.5 million visitors in 2024, making it the most visited attraction in the entire United Kingdom. Before you book anything paid, allocate at least 2 full days across these museums and spend exactly nothing. Download the Bloomberg Connects app before you go. It gives you free audio guides for the National Gallery and V&A without needing to pay for a rental. The Tower of London is worth the entry fee. Built in 1078, it has functioned as a palace, a prison, an execution site, and a treasury at different points across nearly 1,000 years. The crown jewels are inside, the actual imperial state crown and the scepter used at every coronation, and the line for them moves fast if you arrive when the gates open at 9 a.m. Book on the historic Royal Palace's website to skip the ticket queue entirely. Westminster Abbey holds 17 monarchs. Charles Darwin, Isaac Newton, and Geoffrey Chaucer. Give it 2 hours minimum. Buckingham Palace, changing of the guard, runs most mornings at 11 a.m. and is free to watch from outside. Check the royal family website the evening before, because it cancels in heavy rain. And St. Paul's Cathedral has a whispering gallery inside the dome, where you can whisper along the curved wall and be heard clearly by someone 34 meters away on the opposite side. Here is the mistake almost every first-time visitor makes, and it is going to cost you hours you do not get back. Most people plan their London days by tube stop. They bounce from Westminster to the Tower to Covent Garden in a single afternoon, spend 40 minutes at each, and end the day having seen nothing properly. The better move is to plan by neighborhood. The entire stretch from Westminster Abbey to Tower Bridge along the South Bank is walkable in under 2 hours. Big Ben, the London Eye, Borough Market, Tate Modern, Shakespeare's Globe, and Tower Bridge, all along the same riverfront path. Walk it. Do not tube between them. You will see more, spend less, and actually understand how the city connects. Use City Mapper rather than Google Maps for London transport. It accounts for real-time line disruptions and tells you exactly which carriage to board to be nearest the exit. Borough Market in Southwark has been operating in some form since 1014, over 1,000 years. What you get now is a covered Victorian market with around 100 stalls running Thursday through Saturday. Monmouth coffee, wild mushroom toasties, fresh-cut raclette on bread, Scotch eggs made that morning. Arrive before 11 a.m. Eat while you walk. Budget around £10 to £15 for a full meal. Maltby Street Market, a 5-minute walk away, is smaller, less photographed, and where many people who actually live in London prefer to go on a Saturday morning. The steak and chips from the beefsteak stall is worth the trip on its own. For a sit-down meal that punches way above its price point, a Sunday roast at a proper London pub is one of the best value meals in the city. The Harwood Arms in Fulham is the only Michelin-starred pub in London. Book a week ahead online. Hyde Park is 350 acres in the center of the city, and most tourists spend 20 minutes in one corner of it and leave. The Serpentine Lake in the middle has pedalo rentals, a bar with outdoor seating, and enough space to completely decompress from the city. But the park that delivers the most is Regent's Park, specifically Primrose Hill at its northern edge. Walk to the top. You get a full, unobstructed 360-degree panorama of the London skyline. The Shard, the Gherkin, the BT Tower, St. Paul's Dome. All of it, with no glass, no barriers, no booking, no ticket, and no queue. The London Eye costs £29 per person and puts glass between you and the view. The Shard viewing platform is £32. Primrose Hill is a 20-minute tube ride on the Northern Line and a 10-minute walk, and it is a better photograph every single time. That is the open loop paid off. 4 neighborhoods that are worth your time beyond the center. Notting Hill gives you the pastel houses on Lancaster Road, and St. Luke's Mews, Saturday on Portobello Road Market, is the best antiques market in the city, stretching over a kilometre. Shoreditch in East London is where the street art, independent coffee, and vintage markets actually are. Brick Lane, on a Sunday morning from 10 a.m., is one of the most alive places in the city. For something completely different, Greenwich in southeast London has the Royal Observatory, where you can stand on the Prime Meridian, the Cutty Sark clipper ship, and a panoramic view of Canary Wharf from the hill above, all reachable on the Elizabeth Line in under 30 minutes. And Hampstead in North London feels like a village that somehow got absorbed into a world capital. Cobblestone streets, independent bookshops, and Hampstead Heath, with Parliament Hill giving you another entirely free panoramic view of the city. Before the day trips, one thing that will genuinely change how your whole trip feels. Do not stay in Zone 1 unless you have a specific reason to. Zone 1 hotels average £185 a night. Zone 2 and Zone 3 give you the same tube access to every attraction, often for 40 to 60% less. Shoreditch, King's Cross, and Stratford are all Zone 2 and directly connected to everything. If you are traveling as a group of 3 or more, an Airbnb in Zone 2 or 3 consistently undercuts central hotels by a significant margin. Budget chains. Premier Inn and Travelodge have well-located Zone 2 properties that are clean, reliable, and often bookable for under £90 a night if reserved more than 3 weeks ahead. 3-day trips that are worth leaving London for. Bath is 90 minutes on a direct GWR train from Paddington. The Roman baths are the best preserved in Northern Europe, and the Georgian architecture looks like a film set because it essentially has been one. Book rail tickets on GWR's website at least 2 weeks ahead, and prices start around £15 each way. Windsor is 40 minutes from London Waterloo and has Windsor Castle, the largest and oldest occupied castle in the world, still a working royal residence. And Stonehenge, combined with Salisbury Cathedral, makes a full day. Train to Salisbury is 90 minutes from Waterloo, under £30 return, and the Stonehenge tour bus runs directly from the station to the Stones and back. 3 things only London gives you. The Sky Garden at 20 Fenchurch Street is a free public garden 35 floors up with 360-degree city views and a full bar. It is one of the most genuinely impressive things in London, and almost no first-time visitor knows about it. New tickets release every Monday morning 3 weeks ahead at skygarden.london. Set a reminder and book the moment they go live because they sell out within hours. The ceremony of the keys at the Tower of London is a 700-year-old nightly locking ritual where the same words have been spoken in the same order every single night since 1340. Free to attend, but you must apply by email through the Tower of London website months in advance. And for West End Theatre, the TKTS booth in Leicester Square opens at 10 a.m. daily and sells same-day tickets for up to 50% off. Hamilton, Les Miserables, The Lion King, all available on the day if you get there early. 5 tips to save before you go. 1. Tap your contactless bank card everywhere. Daily cap applies automatically, no Oyster card needed. 2. Use Citymapper instead of Google Maps for London. It updates in real time and handles line disruptions. 3. Book the Sky Garden on Monday mornings, 3 weeks out, skygarden.london. Free, 35 floors, no substitute. 4. For restaurants worth eating at, use the Resi app for last-minute cancellations. Tables at fully booked places open up daily, and you can grab them same day. 5. The UK ETA is now required for visitors from the US, Canada, Australia, and most other non-EU countries. It costs £10, takes minutes to apply for at gov.uk/apply-for-ETA, and you cannot board your flight without it. Do not find this out at check-in. If you just screenshotted any of that, subscribe. Every video we make is built around the specific details that actually change how a trip goes. Share this with whoever is planning a London trip right now. The Sky Garden tip alone is worth it. London has a reputation for being expensive, overcrowded, and difficult. And if you go in blind, it is. But the same city has 6 world-class museums that cost nothing, a viewpoint better than anything you pay for, a 1,000-year-old food market, and neighborhoods that take a full day each to even begin to understand. The version of London most tourists get and the version that is actually there are 2 completely different cities. You now know how to get to the second one. Drop a comment and tell us, first time visiting London, or have you been before? And what is the one thing you did not expect? Next video is right here. Everything you need to know before visiting Paris. Here is everything covered in this video. Tap contactless to cap your daily transport cost. Take the Elizabeth line from Heathrow, not the Express. Spend at least 2 days across the free museums: British Museum, Natural History Museum, V&A, National Gallery, and Tate Modern. Pay for the Tower of London and book it in advance. Walk the South Bank from Westminster to Tower Bridge rather than tubing between stops. Eat at Borough Market on a Saturday morning and Maltby Street if you want the local version. Get to Primrose Hill for the best free view in the city. Explore Notting Hill on Saturday, Shoreditch on Sunday, Greenwich and Hampstead. When you want to escape the centre, stay in Zone 2 to cut accommodation costs. Book the Sky Garden on Monday mornings at Sky Garden, London. Day trip to Bath, Windsor or Stonehenge. Apply for your UK ETA before you fly. That is your London trip, properly done.